People don't really want children, by the way. People do not want children. They want babies.
Do you know that when some people come and tell you, I love kids so much, I can't wait to have like 5 children, I see myself having like 10. Do you know that most of the time they're talking about babies? They love that baby face. That time that the baby is just so cute, their eyes, they just smile, they're so cute from the hospital, the day one baby, to like the 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, maybe 4 or to 6, let's say to 6 months before they start crawling or sitting down. People like that face. In fact, you see a lot of people come and greet you and carry the baby. Everybody's like, oh my God, my ovaries. People only like the baby face. Most of the time, people don't like toddler face. People don't like teenage. They don't like, preschool age side. They don't want you to tell them what to do. They always want to tell you what to do. They want a baby that they can only, take charge. They don't want you to be able to tell them no. Do you know that? Let me show you some videos about this particular conversation. Then we'll come back and discuss.
And people like babies. They don't like children or adults. So keep that in mind when y'all are choosing to have children, because that village, all of those people that are surrounding you will eventually fade. You might have a couple that stay around, but people really like babies. Like, society likes babies. They don't like children or adults. The older you get, the less and less people have tolerance for you, and your support system kind of. Now, is that the case for everybody? No, but your support system will definitely start to dwindle because people like babies. They don't like kids. So I just tell people to pay attention about that, because if you having kids because you have like this big loving village right now because your child is a baby, please do not count on it. And this is coming from somebody with no kids, but I have seen it happen plenty of times. Don't count on it, because 9 times out of 10, those same people are going to be gone. They're going to leave. People like babies. They don't like children and adults.
People don't really want children, by the way. People do not want children. They want babies. Nobody wants toddlers. Absolutely nobody wants preschool kids. Nobody wants school-age children. People certainly do not want teenagers. And people most certainly do not want children in their 20s that make their own money and have autonomy and have to actually like you to be around you. People do not want that. A few years ago, I realized that the average person views parenthood as a way to have unopposed control over another person. They view parenthood as a way to have a mini dictatorship in their own homes. In Big 25, people still refer to children as an extension of themselves. No, they're not. That is a full autonomous being. That is somebody that is going to grow up and realize their likes, their dislikes, their wants and their desires that exist completely outside of yourself. I was a Sunday school teacher for 2 years, and I encountered so many lovely, beautiful, amazing children that I loved so dearly. And every time I would be telling their parents, at the end of church, like, your child is so full of life, your child has so much personality. A lot of the parents would literally roll their eyes and be like, oh, is that what you call that? And I'd be like, I beg your pardon. And the parents would be like, oh, this one doesn't know how to shut up. This one doesn't know how to stop talking. All she does is talk. And I'm not even joking. Their children were just full of personality. Their children were just full of quirks. Their children were just so vibrant. And a lot of the parents, they were trying to pass it off as a joke, but I could see genuine annoyance when they spoke about the fact that they had a child that was quite boisterous. And maybe my annoyance is informed by my own trauma as somebody that was labeled a chatterbox, as somebody that was labeled annoying very early on in my life, simply because I just had a personality. And if I'm being perfectly honest, the average person that wants to have children can't even tell you why it is that they want to have children. I'm not insane, so I know that people love babies because they're cute and they're squishy and they're adorable. However, people also love babies because they can't speak. Babies cannot disagree with you. Babies cannot have different political opinions to you. Babies cannot, tell you that they reject your ideologies. Babies have you as the center of their world. You are their bread and butter. Obviously, babies don't eat bread and butter, but do you get what I'm saying? You are the absolute center of everything pertaining to a baby's life. And this is why I think people genuinely love babies so much. However, as children grow up and start developing into who they are, into their being, as children start growing up and developing opinions, people start loving them a lot less. People start loving them a lot less because that unopposed control starts to dwindle. An ex-friend of mine that would absolutely dog you out the second you disagree with her, the second you had a different opinion to her, you were the devil. She will call you everything but a child of God. Can you imagine? This babe literally said she wanted 5 kids. I said, I bet you want 5 children. I bet you want 5 children. Of course you want 5 children. If I seem a little bit emotional about this topic, it's because I'm so passionate about children getting the love, the patience, the care that they need. Like, a lot of people are bringing children into this world with absolutely no skills or tools to look after them and nurture them. 95% of the arguments that Nigerian parents have with their children literally boil down to the statement, why are you not like me? Why are you not like me? It's literally that statement, but in so many different fonts. Why don't you want to be hyper religious like me? Why don't you want to dress as modestly as I do? Why don't you want to have a career in STEM like I do? Why don't you want to be heterosexual like I am? 95% of the issues that people have with their Nigerian parents are literally because they moved away. They decided they don't want to conform to the ideologies that their parents have. The fact that in big 2025, it's still controversial to tell people that you do not plan on using physical violence in your, dealings with your future kid, and people will start turning around and say, oh, you're gonna raise children that are soft. The fact that gentle parenting is still very controversial is crazy. Everybody has so much smoke and energy for the woman that says that she doesn't want to enter the hood that belongs to mothers. Okay, where is the smoke for the people that have already mapped out the 15 and 20 years of their child's life, not knowing that their child may not want to walk along that path? Where is the smoke for those people? I'm in a little bit of a rush right now, so I didn't do like my full skincare routine, but Skin 1004 and Beauty of Joseon, yes, 10 times over. My mom is truly a lovely, lovely, lovely babe, but the amount of disagreements that we've had simply because I am different to her is astounding. Literally, a lot of the arguments have boiled down to, why are you so different to me? And it's very, very crazy. This is my skincare in natural light. I thought I'd show you that the proof is in the pudding. But anyway, maybe have a double thing, a triple thing, a quadruple thing before entering the hood belonging to parents. Because really and truly, it's not for everyone. It's really not for everyone, and it's not by force. People don't really want children, by the way. People do not want children. They want babies. Nobody wants toddlers. Absolutely nobody wants preschool kids. Nobody wants school-age children. People certainly do not want teenagers. A few years ago, I realized that the average person views parenthood as a way to have unopposed control over another person.
Yep, because people get attention for babies. They don't get attention for them screaming-ass toddlers, them stubborn-ass kids, and them aggravating-ass teenagers. They don't get attention for that. But they get attention for pushing that little stroller or the little baby carrier or feeding that baby and people walking by and saying, oh, motherhood looks so wonderful on you. Yeah, that's what they get attention for, and that's what they want, because a lot of parents check out once they have a kid and their individuality and their personality start to show. I have a relative that pretty much went through that same process. She was, had a baby by some dando, got attention for being pregnant, single mother, had the baby, was getting attention for the baby. I mean, she wore that diaper bag with pride, honey. And as soon as that child turned into one of them not teenagers, well, I think he's a teenager now, but when he turned into one of them toddlers with them behavioral problems, oh, she checked real quick. And that baby was raised by her mama. And then she went on and lived in another city somewhere, with some man, maybe saw her kid a few times a month. Okay? Because the goal was not to raise a child or a human being. It was to have a baby. And so when the baby shit ended, she didn't want to be bothered with it no more. And it's unfortunate, but I think a lot of people do need to be completely honest as to why they have children. A lot of them couldn't tell you because they knew that if they had their true intentions and spoke it out loud, they would be embarrassed, because a lot of them are having babies to keep that man. A lot of them are having babies for attention that they didn't get, to fill a void that they could have resolved if they just went to the therapist instead. But that's what they do. I have another relative who is actively trying to get pregnant by a man that is not her husband, that she is not even engaged to, just to give him a baby, his first baby, just to keep him. She was pregnant. She had a miscarriage or a stillborn or whatever it was, and I believe that the Lord works in mysterious ways. And I guess she decided that that was just going to be a challenge. And now she's trying to get pregnant. She don't care about the current climate that we live in. She doesn't care about the administration that we're under that is not very kind to women that are having issues maintaining pregnancies. If something awful does happen, and it's like you're doing all of this to keep a man, or just to brag that, hey, I gave him his first baby. Honey, we don't live in that kind of world where that's even a remotely rational decision to make. When I was pregnant, it was not planned, but it was prepared. I always say that. It wasn't planned, it was prepared. And I understood that I was raising a little human being who would eventually be a functioning adult. And I want to make sure that I did as good as I could do. So I went to therapy because I knew I came from a toxic household environment. I went and I didn't want to put those same beliefs, push those onto my son. I didn't want a tablet baby. I didn't want a TV baby. I wanted to be able to give him the opportunities to enjoy his childhood. That was the plan, you know. And yes, he was very cute. He got all the cute aesthetic baby stuff, but I understood that he was a kid. So if I had him in a cute little outfit and it got dirty and he got food on it and he threw up on it, oh well, that's what kids do. I never got bent out of shape over that. Some of y'all put your kids in the cutest little things and then you get mad because they mess it up. Well, that's what kids do. Y'all don't want kids to have their own personalities and turn into teenagers that have their own style and their own thought. And I say this because, you know, my son is a teenager, right? Now, let me tell you something. Sis got some kick game, okay? My sneaker game is chef's kiss, okay? I can wear some stuff and I still get stopped in the stores and people are like, sis, where you get that? Okay, no, I'm serious, okay? That sneaker game valid. And so I get my son shoes, you know. So you know, I ask him what he, you know, need, you know, school starting and stuff. And so usually I get him some tennis shoes. They valid though. Listen, they always look good. And you know, this time he sits there and he says, you know, Mom, just you know, I'd rather, you know, I get my own shoes. Okay, no problem. You know, he is his own person. So if he wants his own, you know, I'm not gonna fight and be like, now you know your mama got some. I will say that, you know, your mama got good taste now. But if that's what he wants to do, then I'm just gonna give him a gift card so he can go ahead and get the shoes you want. That's just what it is. And don't invalidate their gifts and their talents by taking credit for it. My mother used to do that, and it pissed me off. You know, I have really good interior design style. I'm really good with, you know, spaces and organization and color. I'm great with that. Like stuff that don't even seem like it makes sense. I put it together. And one of her friends in front of her, you know, was saying how, you know, hey, I need to, you know, get your advice on something. Man, I'm going to hire you for some projects because, you know, your style is amazing. And my mother, she's like, well, you know, she gets it from me. She gets it from me. You know, she did, you know, all of that talent, she just gets it from me. And it was almost like an interception to the compliment that her friend was giving me. And it's like, y'all can't do that. Let people have their own talents and their gifts on their own and bask in a compliment or you know, some kind of encouragement or whatever like that. You know, to me, listen, me and my mother don't even have the same style. Like, she is not organizationally, not even close. You know, style, not even close. You know, but that's her way of trying to take credit for my life. Stop doing that to your children. It is so invalidating to them to do that. And if you're not ready to raise someone that has their own mind and you're only trying to create some minimal or mini dictatorship in your home, don't have no kids. Period.
Yes, most women or mothers that tell you, I love children, I want to have children, I want to have so many children, they just like that mini me. When you ask a young girl that wants to get, she tell you, I want to have children, I can't wait to get married and have kids and have my mini me. Anybody that even calls their baby mini me, or they see them having kids and they're like, my mini me, these people only want that aesthetically pleasing babies, that they just want to like do matching outfits together. That's the only thing most of the time people want children for. In fact, I feel like some people only like the pregnancy phase. They don't even like the baby phase. Some women that keep getting pregnant back to back to back to back, they only like pregnancy phase. They don't like children. They only like when they are pregnant. Most of the time, they only like the attention they get when they are pregnant. They like the princess treatment they get when they are pregnant. That's why you see some women get pregnant back to back to back. Even though you are seeing them the way they are treating the children they already have, they are not doing a good job at all. But you see them getting pregnant and tell you, I love children. They only like the attention they get when they are pregnant. Babies, the ones that like babies only like that aesthetically pleasing, or they want to be able to hold you, or in fact they love the shoes. You see some people, they're obsessed with baby shoes and be like, can't wait. They don't want children. Because at the end of the day, when you kind of sit them down and ask those ones that say, oh, I want to have children, why do you want to have children? Why are you having children? They don't have genuine reason to tell you why they want children. They tell you, I want to have a mini me. I just want to have a baby. Once the baby gets to a stage, the toddler stage, they're very stubborn. Toddlers can be very stubborn. When you get to toddler stage, you see them, you know, being cranky and tell you motherhood is hard. But when they're in the baby stage, they'll just be like, in fact, they'll be looking at the baby and be like, oh, my baby is so cute. My baby is so cute. Then when we get to toddler, preschool, teenage, and all of that, they always want to, change the way they think about having children and all of that. But am I the only one that does not like baby face? So even if I want to have so many children, do you know me? I don't like pregnancy face. I don't like baby face. Give me when they are grown. I prefer when they are grown, when I can talk to them and I will understand what they are saying. They can tell me yes or no. I feel like that's the stage me personally I would like. But to get to that stage, for me, I feel like it's a whole lot of work. You see that pregnancy stage, I hate it. You see that baby face that I cannot communicate. I don't know what you want. You're just crying. I don't know how to tell you. So, like, I can't. No. I don't like that stage. So the thing is, most women do not really want children. They just like that aesthetically pleasing babies that or moving, walking on the with the baby stroller on the road, having car seats, baby car seat at the back, all those giving. Some people is pregnancy, they just want to have that baby. Some people already saved a lot of pregnancy photo shoots because they want to have photo shoots. They just want to get pregnant. Most of the time, they are not really thinking about if they are really ready to have those children. They're not really thinking about why they want to have those children. This one is not even about finance or this thing. You need a lot of, you guys, the lights going on and off. You need a lot of reason for you to have, a lot of good reason for you to have and decide to have children, because it's not easy to care for babies and or to be a mom or to be a parent, right? Anyway, you guys, what's your take on this video? Let's continue this conversation down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, your girl Mariah David, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one, guys. Bye.